Hello and welcome to Cooking with PMQ. I'm your host, Brian Hernandez. I'm joined in the test kitchen today by our good friend Lee Hunzinger of Rosso's and Zoli's New York Pizza Tavern of Dallas, Texas. Thank you so much for being here today, Lee.
Thank you for having me.
I see a lot of sweetness going on here. So what are we going to be doing for the folks today?
We're going to be making Nutella Rolls, a little something that came up years ago. We're going to make them two ways, banana Nutella Roll, and then a Nutella Roll stuffed with vanilla mascarpone.
Okay.
Both will be finished with sea salt caramel, which I made, and Nutella drizzle, a little confectioner's sugar. So what we're going to be doing is transforming pizza dough into more of a pastry dough and show that it can go either way like that.
And about how much does this dough ball weigh?
That's a 750 gram dough ball, New York style.
New York style
pizza
dough.
Okay. All right, so first we'll flour on our table.
Okay.
Take our dough ball out. We're going to try and take it exactly the way it is, no wrinkling or curling. We had put a little bit of oil when we had made it yesterday, so it's going to come up nice and easy for us. Smooth side down. We're going to finish when we make them with that smooth side down, which will be the outer coverage for the Nutella roll, which will enable the inside will absorb more of that flavor that we're going to be adding to this dough. So we're going to, generously cover the dough with flour to make sure that we're going to be able to move it around the table. Now, after we do that, we're going to move some of this flour as to not have excess.
Okay.
And we're going to stretch this dough, working the outside of it. Now what I'm going to do is when I wind up stretching it, I'm going to come about 20 inches with this dough ball. I'm going to stretch it a little bit, working the outside. Notice I'm not putting pressure really at all on the inside. Now we have our smooth side up, which is going to be on the bottom.
Okay.
Okay. So, but before we roll it out with the pin and flip, we're going to flip it back over at the very end. But I'm going to work this side as to make sure that I have flour, and this is kind of. I make sure it's dry. It's not going to stick to the table. If it did stick a little bit, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But
you're doing that rather gently, just kind of letting the weight of the pin do most of the work for you.
And I'm putting a little bit of pressure, but I'm staying out of the center. I would say, like a 4-inch circle. So we have a blended oil, which is 75-25 canola to extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
And the mixture also has some vanilla extract and some cinnamon, which you could smell probably is great flavor. And I'm going to brush this whole dough. As you can see, there's some brown from the cinnamon and the vanilla extract. What I want to do is, in essence, paint this whole side of the dough with this. And some spots that you see that may get darker, you may get a little cinnamon that'll clump up. Easily get spread with the brush. And I want to get it more or less the whole dough the same color. And now we're going to generously pour a cinnamon sugar mixture, which I made a little earlier. This is just a regular granulated sugar, ground cinnamon. If you really love cinnamon, you add a little bit more. It'll give you a darker color. Mix it in a mixing bowl, and that's really all it is. And we're going to spread this all over the dough. And you're going to notice the tint, once again, getting even darker.
And what was that technical term you said for how we're putting this on there? That was generously?
Generously. Put that cinnamon sugar, and I'm just going to press it in a little bit and spread it. Not putting much pressure. But as you can see, it's getting nice and dark in color.
Yeah.
We're going to put about an ounce of Nutella onto each of these Nutella rolls. Now I'm going to place it about a ½ an inch up the roll from the edge, okay, right in the center. So I want to leave a little bit of dough on the outside, but not much, because I want the Nutella to cover the whole roll. Using a fingertip, boom, 1 ounce, right in the middle there.
All right, so now we have our ounce of Nutella on each of these individual 16 slices. You said you're going to do half with the mascarpone filling and the other half with the bananas.
Exactly.
All right, so what's the next step?
The next step is to place a banana in each, in half of these, actually.
Okay.
So we're going to take, let's take the 8 to the left side of these here, and I'm just going to put a banana right in the middle there.
All
Boom. So now we're going to roll the 8 without Nutella first.
Okay.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is pinch along the edge here, just a touch, so I have some to lift over. Okay. I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to boat this end, pulling out and pushing it halfway through the Nutella roll.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to do exactly the same thing with the other side. I don't want this Nutella to leak out. It's too valuable. This is like gold, this stuff. So once again, I'll come up about an inch or so to both the end, and now we're going to fold over. Now with that, make sure you got it tucked in. This one tried to sneak out on me, as well as this side. Go to the edge. Now we get that first rotation, which is critical. We're sealing in that Nutella. Okay, now we have it. We have one full fold here. Okay. That's how I want this Nutella roll to be on the pan. At this point, we're going to lift it off the table, like such, okay, and keep it in your hand, because I want this exactly this way on the tray. And I'm going to use my other hand, Brian, to make these rotations.
Okay.
So you can pull this dough nice and thin. You can see it's nice and stretchy. Right. It's got a little pull to it, but and we're just going to kind of give it a fold. And we're going to come across twice with it. Using your fingers, I'm going to come around one more time with this, using this tip as the bottom, so I don't have to press or anything. Gravity will let it close on its own. We're going to brush these again with my mixture of blended oil, 75-25 canola and extra virgin olive oil, cinnamon and vanilla extract. Okay. And we're going to brush them, and then we're going to sprinkle a little cinnamon sugar on them again as well before we put them through that quick proofing process.
All right.
We're going to cover these or place in a proofing box that is sealed airtight, just to not let them dry out too much. You want to keep them hydrated and let them proof up, without drying out.
All right. Well, then we're going to get these covered. We're going to let them proof for a little bit, and then we will be back. About how long do you think it's going to take?
This would be about a half an hour.
Okay.
You want to say?
What's the next step then?
Before we bake these, we're going to give them a little egg wash, and then just a sprinkle of cinnamon sugar for the baking as well.
Okay.
Just to give it that extra gloss, as well as what will happen is the cinnamon sugar on the outer part of the dough will caramelize and make like a crust.
And then basically we're going to put it in the oven. We got it at about 500 right now?
About 500. The pan has a little parchment paper on it as to not stick to the pan.
Also,
like I was saying before. You can see the caramel color, they're brown. These are baked and they're ready to go. So we're going to pull them out.
Get them on out.
And we're going to let them cool off. But in the meantime, what I like to do when they come out is to, once again, with this mixture of a blended oil, 75-25 canola, 2 extra virgin, cinnamon and vanilla extract, is to brush these once again. And what they're going to do is, as they come back to room temperature, they're going to soften a little bit, and they're going to just absorb some of that flavor as well.
So now we've separated them to the banana Nutella rolls and just our regular Nutella rolls, which we're going to pipe in some mascarpone. So why don't we go ahead and, is that what we're going to start with? Or?
Yeah, we're gonna just pipe these in, and then what we're gonna do is finish both the banana Nutella, which are on my right, your left there, and the regular Nutella rolls that'll be stuffed with the vanilla mascarpone. We'll finish with sea salt caramel and some Nutella, as well as some powdered sugar.
All right, so I've chosen my poison. When my back was turned, he might have switched the plates around, I'm not sure. So it might be a surprise, but I'm gonna go with the mascarpone filling. I'm gonna give my friend Lee over here a sampling of the banana. And we're just gonna, I guess, dive right in, right?
That's it. It's handheld,
Oh yeah, very firm, crispy crunch or crispy crust.
You can see the mascarpone is kind of, there you go, buddy. Dive in there.
Very flaky. This reminds me of Christmas morning, honestly. It's cooked through and through. The flavors in every single bite of that dough, so it was almost like it was made from cinnamon and sugar. So I give you much kudos on that. So Lee, I really appreciate you coming in here. Let's share a sticky handshake. We're gonna see you guys next time, and until then, keep those ovens lit.